Yeah, we bring reviews of your house. Talk to our dudes of your house. I bring my views of your house. Wrestling truths of your house. We talk to you in your house. We keeps it cool in your house. We keeps it cool in your house. I'm spitting truths in your house. Yeah. Mark's hating on his fans. Becky Nish on the man. Play with two like a lions. Household a dangerous alliance. I am an diamond like Cody. And I'm overcoming like Kobe. No, they cannot hold me. Come listen, I'm hosting, critiquing, I'm boasting. This wrestling I'm knowing.
This is Austin Theory of Evolve, and you're listening to the In Your Howse podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to In Your Howse, starring Alakan House. This is the People's Podcast. Hey guys, you already know who it is. It's your boy Khan, ready to give you that work. When it comes to this professional wrestling business, that is what we do. And hey, we love it. So let me let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's alright. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, hey, we get to you. And that's what we do at In Your Howse. We just come into you with those racks in the middle. That is what we do. Hey, a lot of crazy things going on in this professional wrestling business, man. You know, it's Friday. It's Friday. Weekend's here. You know, we about to do our thing. Oh, we're about to do our thing. When you guys listen to this, it's gonna be Tuesday morning. So going into that Tuesday morning, just being real slick with it with your boy Khan, real slick with it, and man, we get talent over here, bro. We do it all the time, and and you guys know, I tell you, like, we get the best. I mean, every single time, and I'm not just talking, y'all, like 14 different countries across these United States, locally here in Indiana, and on the show, talent-wise, we get the best, the absolute best. And guys, once again, we get the best, and we got the best because we got excellence here right now. Guys, ladies, and gentlemen of the household, please welcome my guest, the ninja with an attitude. Hi, Zaya. How are you doing, bro?
Man, I thought you was going to cut a freestyle, man. Thank you for having me on. I've been waiting for you to pass the mic. I thought I was going to have to spit some 16 for you or something.
my man. No, man, we just talk here at In Your Howse, man. So I truly appreciate you coming on, bro.
Oh, man, I appreciate being on. I see you had a few of my brothers on, too, so I had to come on. I had to say something.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I just saw, and we'll get to the interview questions and whatnot and everything, but I just saw, like, I know recently I saw a picture of you with the little homie Corey Storm at OVW.
Yeah, man, shout out Corey Storm. That kid, I don't even want to call him a kid because we indoctrinated him as a man on the Stormcast. Check that out as well. That's on Corey Storm on YouTube, and I believe he has it on his Facebook channel as well, so check that show out. There was all just everybody that was collaborated that he felt influenced him in this business that he wanted on that card. So that was a fun classic night.
Oh, man. That is so dope, man. Yeah, I dig his vibe, man. I dig his energy, and I dig your energy too, man. So I was so happy to get you on and just talk to you and kind of figure out who you are. Let my listening audience know who you are, man, because you just got this cool vibe to you, man. And you even talking to you, man, you seem like you're chill and you're cool talking to you, but every time I see you, you just seem like a mean motherfucker, man. Like, woo!
Nah, man, I am as cool as it comes, but you know that also comes with being a ninja with attitude, and the attitude ain't necessarily I'm walking around like, oh, what you want, you know, and like I'm walking around the club or something. The attitude is accordingly, and you know this is how I carry myself, and you know, being a student, the first prize student of the Rage Dojo. You know, we was all about creating men, not just wrestlers. So that attitude comes with how you carry yourself in and outside the ring, yo.
Yeah, I feel that, man. I feel that, and the vibe that I get from you, like you just so basically what you're saying is you reciprocate the energy, right?
Absolutely, man. Energy is a really big thing. Part of me, vibes, people, this or whatever. R.I.P. George the Animal Steel. Back
Yeah,
when I was 19, he's actually the one that actually gave me that ninja scroll of how to, I don't want to say manipulate or control, but
yeah,
basically how to fill out that energy and how to give out that proper energy, how to, keep it in yourself and, stay humble and at the same time get ready to rock. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, man. Yeah, I feel that in a major way. So man, now we got you here on the show. I mean, I've been seeing some of the stuff that you do. I mean, I was looking a little bit earlier. I threw it back to 2014, and I think it was IWA Mid South, and you was wrestling against Congo Kong, and that looked like it was a dope match.
Oh man, big ups Congo Kong. Just to throw it back a little bit, during one of the WWE Hall of Fame inductors, the Lariat, Stan Hansen, he had made a point during his interview to say something that the key to sometimes in this business to have the right opponent,
Yeah,
find that opponent that can bring out the best of each other.
yeah.
And Kong was definitely one of them. Kong, he make you step the game up because, you can either step your game up and get knocked the hell out, one of the two.
Yeah, man, that's heavy. That's heavy. Like, I respect what y'all do so much, man. And just even like just hearing you yell at him and cuss at him and stuff during that match, I was like, man, these two dudes is just going, and I really enjoyed it, man. So. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. And this is normally the first question I like to ask, but man, I had so much stuff for you, man, because like I've been watching you like just from the Facebook and stuff like that for a while, and I was like, man, I dig this dude's vibe. So I just shot off a whole bunch of questions, and usually I have a starter question. So my starter question is this, bro, is where did this all start for you? Where did professional wrestling start for Zaya?
To be quite honest, it's something I've always been into. My late paternal grandmother, she in this area, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, and so the old school USWA, all the old WWE guys that you wouldn't normally see on TV, they was in this area, and so she used to do and watch it all the time, go down to Louisville Gardens, go to the shows and stuff like that. But my official start wasn't until R.I.P. J.C. Bailey and the Bailey family, Papa Joe and Mama Vicky. I got my start with Bad to the Bone Wrestling in Kentucky, man. But I started watching independent wrestling with IWA Mid South in '96, back when ECW was hot and things like that. And then they come and brought it to this area, and it was just something you've never seen before. I'm looking in line, and I'm just like, man, why all these white people stand in line with all these weapons and random items? And here to come to find out. They're using these for the shows, back when it was actually surprising to see somebody get hit with something other than the chair or the bell or something like that. Yeah. And so, I just fell in love with it from there and then, try to make my way as I could.
Oh man, that's just, I always love to hear, that's the reason that's always my open question is because I just love to understand where it came for everybody because like, I know I started watching it like when I was like 6 and stuff like that. I'm 32 now, and I'm just like, man, how was there this collective of people that love this throughout their entire life? And I just always want to understand where it came from for each different person that I talked to, and I really wanted to hear it from you, man, because you have such an interesting character and interesting background. Now let me ask you. So you're a kickboxer?
No, I was trained by the American Kickboxer.
Oh, okay.
I was trained by the American Kickboxer, and he actually had taken me. I actually was kind of a young boy, so I was kind of a dojo boy with him. I actually moved in his crib. He would travel me, just basically taught me on the road how to survive being a wrestler. Yeah. And he took me to one of his actual martial arts senseis to teach me to bump, to teach me kind of some discipline, to teach me to protect myself because I was never a really big dude, if you know what I mean. I was never really a heavyweight guy. So it's like, we can either have a show or I can choke you out or something, bro. But I've never really had to do that. I've popped a few guys a few times or whatever like that. But I always, we always kind of like made it our basis of being very professional.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even, don't get me wrong, we get down and we party. But, as far as that professionalism and, you hear brother 1,050 times a day in a wrestling business, but you very much rarely find few. So my biggest thing was just trying to be that real good brother sometimes, you know what I'm saying, in the business.
Yeah.
But to really answer your question, man, I mean, it's more of a grapple background, Muay Thai for striking, jiu-jitsu type deal. Yeah. So that was just basically to protect myself. The ninja comes from a lifestyle I had to take.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this: you call yourself the ninja with the attitude, and I see you.
I call myself the hood ninja.
What's that?
I actually call myself the hood ninja, but ninja with attitude is
tell me about that. That's the energy you keep.
Yeah, the hood ninja was me trying to basically, it just kind of come to me. It's like, what can I show people? I'm from the hood where I'm from, and where I'm from, Louisville, Kentucky, it's very hot. People are dying every day. People are getting shot in the hood. Things are rampant. But there's also good people and people you don't see that don't get the press, that don't get the type of publicity that you would normally get for the negative, just like we have in our everyday news. So I just wanted to show people that a different type of brother from the hood can kind of come and show you different, that something you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, and that's kind of the vibe that I get from you, and I think that's why I kind of gravitated, because I understand that lifestyle. I understand because myself, I'm from Los Angeles, and rough parts, Pomona, Crenshaw, places like that, where, like you said, people dying. People, West Side, bro. Yeah, people are dying every day, but there are good people. You know what I mean? And to see and to see brothers like you, like that is, for me, I gravitate towards that, because you took a situation that was probably, I don't know, and I hate to assume, but was probably a rough situation, and you flipped it into something. Man. You flipped it into something positive, and I gravitate towards that, bro. That's the type of energy I love to be around. People that just positive and keep it pushing, and always, just always put the best foot forward. You know what I mean?
I feel that, man. And a lot of times I don't want to give people a misconception, especially on Facebook, because it's easy to put your best foot forward, crop out certain pictures and make you look certain way and stuff like that. Yeah. But in all aspects of that, bro, like, it's not that I'm necessarily positive all the time. I just mean, honestly, like, as you see me on Facebook, bro, and we interact, I say stay blessed in this fucking mess of a world. And that's what we live in. We're in a fucking mess of a world, and really all we can do is kind of survive. So I just to kind of become a survivalist, man. Like I said, I've never really been a big dude. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The hood's rough instead of whatever, but like, you carry yourself a certain way. You strive for certain things, you know what I'm saying? And it just kind of happens on its own. And don't get me wrong, I'm a spiritual guy too. No matter how grimy we have to get, I'm a spiritual guy at the end of the day. Yeah. I try not to judge, but more discern people for who and what they are, accept them for what they are. And if it ain't my business, it ain't my business. But, just on the lines, just coming from the hood, man, like, I never really seen, other than the gangster shit and stuff like that, be kind of pressed. That's the type of show that we get. That's the type of publicity we get as brothers coming from the hood, whether it's wrestling, whether it's movies, and this, that, or whatever, that thug mentality. But like, everybody ain't like it. Yeah, street, hood, and gangsters, totally different things, and people don't realize that. And so I have to show them sometimes that sometimes people from the hood are somebody you don't expect.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. I mean, I really can't say it any better than that. Like, you just get it. You understand it, because like, when they see us walking down the street, I know it, I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you, bro. I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you, right? Man. Like, so I work as a postmaster at a post office, small town.
You Mr. Jones, man. All day put up a dog's ass. Yeah.
But I work in the office. I don't carry anymore. So, but my point is to say this. I feel like that my male uniform is like a cloaking device to white folk. Real talk.
Yeah, man. It is. But at the same time, like, you got to understand too. Like, same scenario, you walk down the street, and I just made this point the other day, seeing a brother, saying, like, you walk down the street and see another brother, the first thing they do, we kind of mean mug each other, try to shoot each other what's up, just to kind of see where you at. feel each other out a little bit, And so that's the type of vibe and that's the type of culture that's kind of built to. But no, I definitely feel you because I've done plenty of jobs. I wear many hats. A ninja is not just a dude dressing up in black. I don't dress in all black and do parkour, trying to be Spider-Man or nothing. But at the same time, a ninja is being able to adapt and master your situation. And so with that attitude with it, accordingly, whatever attitude and energy that I'm going to get is the reciprocity that I'm going to put out there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And if people see that I'm a brother, I wear spikes and stuff like that. It's not because I want to be, it's not because I want to be like a grunge or I'm trying to act white or nothing like that. I know wrestling's a pretty much predominantly white business, always has been. But when it comes to wrestling, man, like a lot of the problems and stuff that we see in society, we kind of make fun of and making out of angles and kind of roll with it amongst our adventures, and amongst our stories and amongst our fights and battles. Yeah. And so this is my way of saying that, and I really want to do, it's something I really want to do in the hood. I'm trying to develop it. I'm trying to talk to some folks. I'm trying to come up with Hood Ninja High School, HY School. And that's where it'll give me an opportunity to be like, hey, these are the type of people that I come across, and my wrestling has made it able for me to meet all different types of people, become multicultural, and not just be so secluded to have and say, oh, this is what brother's supposed to act like, and this is what brother's supposed to be, and be like, no, that's bullshit. Yeah. You got to get out there. You got to, feel around and see what type of energies that you attract and what energies attract you,
Dog, I feel that because that's the thing, and you said it earlier. Just talking about talking about brothers, you know what I mean? As soon as they see each other, walking up the street, we're mean mugging each other. Like, I know any person I ever see, no matter what color, I'm smiling, bro, because that's just me. That's the energy I put out there. Like, I don't care about.
I don't smile that much. I think that I smile sometimes, but honestly, I mean mug a lot more than what I think because I'm cursed with my daddy's face. But other than that, man, on that same token, that other side of the coin, I come across a lot of brothers that are doing some good things, and we kind of umbrella and we use each other, not necessarily use each other, but we're go-to guys for each other. We admire each other. We're fans of each other's work. And there's a lot of brothers doing some good things in the city that don't get the press and publicity as the negative and cats just out here on this savage life,
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's the press, man. That's what it is. It's the press. They're putting out, you know what I mean? They're putting out all the negatives when there is a lot of positives, man. There is a lot of positives. And when I see brothers that are doing things like that they're trying to show something different, show that we can be looked at in a different light, and I gravitate towards that because I'm a huge advocate of that. Like, you posted a picture of yourself just the other day, and you was using lyrics to a J. Cole song, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, he's listening to Cole.
You felt me on that.
Yeah.
I did that for a number of reasons too, bro, because it seemed like light-skinned brothers get most hell as far as the brother, as far as the hood delegation's concerned. And so sometimes I got to put it out there, like, don't stereotype me, bro. I'm going to slice it in half with my ninja sword.
Yeah, for sure. And I saw that, and I was like, oh man, absolutely. This dude, he's got coal lines. I'm in. I got to talk to this cat.
Those are the only type of promos you'll see me cut, to be quite honest. I'm not necessarily, like, I don't necessarily feel in character too much in the ring. Honestly, I feel like that's my chance to be my ultimate self, all consolidated together for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, turned up. Yourself turned up times 10.
Yes, absolutely. And that's also what I was taught from a lot of great dudes, man. A lot of what I spit out there and a lot of what I put out there is it's my knowledge, but it's really just regurgitating it from people that I got it from and just, being an amalgam of everybody you come across, like some Super Saiyan stuff. Like, you fight a guy and then next thing you know, well, this ain't going to work on me because I've done this before. Just like the saying, you kind of learn, your strength, weaknesses, and then you level that up on your mental switchboard, if you feel me.
Oh yeah, I feel you. And that's the thing. Like, I think people lack that type of outlet, like to be able to truly be yourself on a grand scale. And I think that's a problem that a lot of people have, is they can't just be themselves.
Man, going back to the hood and then keeping it wrestling at the same time, I come across somebody that became my big brother in the hood. Moms took him in and everything. Shout out to my nigga Zaya. And he told me a few weeks ago, I ain't seen him in a long time, and he said, "Man, you're the only guy that I know that's doing what they said they want to do when we was little." And that just like that alone, man, that was like that. What I tell my homeboys in the business, that's that invisible envelope. That's that invisible payday that you can't spend it, you can't touch it, whatever. But man, you got that, man. Like that's a kind of a reassurance that you are doing something, regardless of what level you on or however you are. You feel like yourself is in a business.
Exactly, man. It don't matter what level that you're doing it at. Like, of course, people's mindset and thoughts are that, oh, WWE this and stuff like that. But on any level, if you're doing what you love, what you're doing, then that's a victory, bro.
Yeah, man. And that also comes from a mindset frame of being humble beginnings. Especially in the indies. To me, I looked up to the guys that can turn chicken shit into chicken salad, if you will. As they say, kind of a common, a common phrase. And that's what I kind of learned to do, and then, even if we do get the good paydays for that good, those triple shots or those, 3 booking weekends and stuff like that, man, I'm still doing those same techniques where I'm cutting corners on the road to save my money and trying to do it smart to where I can actually pay my bills for what I love to do. That way I'm not working at all. If that makes sense. So, that's just one of those mindsets that you kind of get from people that taught you good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because you want to be able to, work for yourself. That's the grind. That's the grind I'm on right now, bro. So I definitely feel it. You want to be able to work for yourself. Call yourself your own boss. And man, I listen to a lot of Nipsey Hussle, so those messages are just kind of resonating with me.
Man, it's funny you bring him up, man. The studies that he's into and things he talk about. My mind was blown as that whole thing unfolded. Because those are the type of things that I apply, but it's so few and far between. You don't know if anybody's on that level with you, so you really can't talk about those things. And, I sit in the sun and level up my melanin and pineal gland and all this other stuff from studying the Black Yoda. I call Dick Gregory. He's my Black Yoda, R.I.P. And, and applying these things. I study Black history like every week. But at the same time, I'm becoming more empowered on that level. I'm just seeing a degradation in like the social dynamics and stuff like that. And wrestling's kind of that only getaway from the world, kind of the sanctuary, if you will, of people getting together and just kind of bringing it to light.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. So let me ask you this question. Since we're on this subject, I think a lot of brothers like close themselves off from different races because they don't want to deal with it. You know what I mean? So my question for you is this: like, in all your years, in your long professional career in professional wrestling, like, was that something that you had already broken before you started wrestling, or did wrestling contribute to you? Like, okay, I got to deal with different people. Like, where were you at on that?
No, not at all, man. It was way before wrestling, yo. And I think I can attribute. I think I can attribute it. Like, if you hear the way I speak, even though I'm blood, I kind of have like a proper tone or a monotone to my voice, or how I articulate words. Yeah. I was born like it, man. So you got to think, growing up, I'm light skinned. I was the white boy in the block that wanted to wrestle and do the white sport instead of play ball or play football. Even though I can drag niggas in any of those sports, wrestling was my thing. And to be quite honest with you, man, like my pops was in the military. So for the few short years that we had traveling and stuff like that, that kind of really didn't matter. You had to be able to adapt because you weren't going to be surrounded by brothers all the time. And I'm the oldest of 6, so I was the big brother. Yeah. And so I had to go out and experience stuff, and do things on my own. And bro, my personality as a kid, I was the reason why they made those movies like Stand By Me, and I had the clubhouse where the boys came through and stuff like that, the bought the BB guns, and I was an adventure kid. Like I said, I was talking about my spikes earlier. I grew up watching Conan the Barbarian, Shaka Zulu, and all types of old school kung fu flicks. So it's like I wanted to be a warrior adventurer, and wrestling gave me that outlet to be that in real life. You feel me?
I love it. Yep, I definitely feel that. I like it, man, because there's so many people, man. There's so many people, Isaiah, that just they get to be in our age bracket, you know what I mean, and get complacent and like, I wanted to do this and this and that, but I'm already 35, 36. I can't do that. And then they just don't ever do what they want to do, man. What I'm quickly learning about you, man, is that you just go and get it. Whatever you want, you just go and get it. And like, you don't have,
I try.
yeah, you just don't have that like quit type of mentality. Like, I'm gonna quit. Like, I dig that. Once again, I know I keep saying this and I'm repeating myself, but I'm saying it because that's how I feel. And the reason that I talk to these people here in the 14 different countries and you know, across the United States and locally here in Indiana is because I'm an open book. So when I say that, that's man, amazing, I'm vibing with your energy, I mean it, because like that's the type of people I gravitate to, is the people that just go and get it. You know what I mean, bro?
And essentially, that, you know, you're going back to that energy. Essentially, that's how you actually meet the family you get to choose in this life.
Oh man, that's heavy.
That's, I mean, you know, you're born with a family that you love unconditionally because you're born within that same spirit and that same bloodline. But the people that you feel that type of energy and vibe from, and that you can just like, man, you just automatically like, man, I like this dude, I like this chick, good peoples, this, that, or whatever. Those are the family you get to choose in this life.
Yeah, man. I dig that. I dig that, and I also agree, because it's like, you know, and when you, of course, as I saying, when you know, and like. It's just intuition. It's energy. It's gut feelings. It's fate, man. You know what I mean? And look where what you do, and your mindset, your the way you think, it's gotten you exactly where you want to be. And it's so crazy to me, bro. Because it's happening to me too, and I'm looking around, and I'm sure you've had the same realization when you get a chance to stop and smell the roses. Because what you do on the road on a regular basis, you're constantly working, constantly grinding, constantly in the ring, always getting better, and I get that, I understand that. But when you do get a chance to stop and smell the roses for a minute, and you look around and you're like, my life is dropping exactly how I wanted it to be.
Man, and I know you're probably getting a deja vu sometimes too. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, man. Like, bro, there's so many people that like they're lost, bro. Like, they have no concept of how to be what they want to be, and like,
the problem.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, please go ahead.
I was gonna say the issue, and not really an issue, but the thing with that is, we're pumped with so much information, nobody knows what they want to be, that they forgot to try to look and see what they are themselves in the first place. I'm a hot mess and a half, and I'm in touch with my good, bad, beautiful, and ugly. And so it is, and hate to be cliche, but that is what it is. But that does not mean that I can't recalibrate constantly. It don't mean I can't, the best thing about being a human is that we have the ability to change, bro.
Yes.
That's one of the best qualities about us. And so if I was as unimpressionable as I am now, the level up of, like you say, those energies and people we come across, those begin to be the things that we, as we become unimpressionable on bullshit, start to look up to, and things that we let kind of like man sharpen man, like metal sharpen metal.
Yeah.
And so we allow each other. And so, we were talking about brothers earlier. It's just like, instead of being like, oh, get this nigga, that, this, or whatever. Hey, what's up, boss? The guys that I surround myself with, we are each other's bosses, but we are our own bosses in our own right. And it makes that bad dope. We have no problem like humbling ourselves to whoever has the vision to get this project done. That's, fine, fair enough. You're the quarterback for this one. Just make sure, you see me wave my hand when it's need to pass that for that 10 yards or that touchdown,
Yep, I feel it, man. It's a team effort, and man, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me because I'm a big advocate on, like you said, iron sharpen iron, man sharpen man. I'm a big advocate on that, and that's the type of people, once again, that I keep around me, because this just to keep it a stack, man. I mean, we wasn't supposed to be doing these things, man. Like it's not like.
You kind of answered your question, though. I think you almost kind of answered your question and kind of hit me as you were saying that. You were talking about people are so lost, but when you think about it, I think you answered the question on the basis of, well, you are who you surround yourself with, and so people are surrounding themselves with people that want to be doing what everybody else is doing, or they're around people that they need the front for, or put on the filter and this that. They put on the personal filter, not the online filter.
Yeah.
They put on the, but to me, I just like, man, ain't no future in your front arm, man. We cool, this, that, or whatever. Hell, for that matter, I don't like the Patriots, and I didn't vote for Trump, but I'd be damned if the last two cards that I got from was a buddy of mine in the wrestling business that voted for Trump, and he likes the Patriots, and I can't stand either one of them.
Right. But you know how to you just know how to deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that ain't my business. Like, I do
Yeah.
me, and I don't let a common narrative rather. My fault. I got that hinder scroll off in me. I don't let that common narrative dictate my mind frame. I worked at a liquor store for like 3 weeks down the street from the arena.
Yep.
I said 3 weeks, but it was for like 3 years. Down the street from the Jeffersonville Arena. Shout out to everybody running there. Paradigm Pro Wrestling's running there tonight. And I believe this one's for Papa Saint show is tomorrow there. So y'all check that out.
Absolutely.
And working there at the liquor store, man, like, I just had a guy on my Facebook. I don't know. I'll send it to you just, when we talk on our own time.
Sure, yeah.
But my old boss, shout out Mike Miller, said, hey, man, that homeless dude, Errol, your buddy, told you to come through his camp, this, that, or whatever. Well, it's crazy that he says it because I had to deal with everybody in that customer service, or, that hostile liquor store environment or whatever. It was a mix of two. Yeah. But it's like I got to know the heart of man and the heart of people from everywhere between a bum living on the street to the mayor, who was my customer at that time. And so I got in touch with every different type of personality, anything you can think of. And so it's no different from wrestling, no different from life, you feel me? And so that allowed me to kind of see where the common mind frame was in people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so if I can differentiate from that, but yet be in touch with that at the same time, that essentially is what our leaders and politicians should be doing.
Yep. You got to be able to resonate with everybody in some kind of way.
Yeah, man. Hell, I used to have and I'm probably going to get some people mad at me at this time, but like, I used to have a real big problem, and not necessarily with it wasn't called LGBTQ or TRSTV, whatever the hell, whatever that is. Man, back in the day, back when I was young, especially in the hood, you getting, man, I used to have to fight so much because you're a young, pretty boy. They think because you got, your mama's eyes and you light skin or whatever like that, like they're going to albie you. And so, and then on that opposite end, you had people that was undercover that try to hit on you and stuff like that. So that leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Well, fast forward, as you grow and mature and stuff like that, you have colleagues, you have people that you work with. And at the end of the day, and I'll tell you what I learned from that. The reason why I say that is to say this. I go to the mountains, man, and I hike and I do a lot of things, and it's a dangerous place. I'm like the only brother from Miles, but I'm up there with some really good people that's become my family for the last 12 years. However, if I was hanging off onto the side of those cliffs and somebody handed their hand down to me to pull me up, would I ask them who they voted for, who they believed in, who they prayed to, who they fucked before they pull me up, or I say pull me up and make a homie? Facts. So you just gotta watch your perspective on that type of stuff, man, because everybody's so easy to manipulate it. And hell, let's just call it what it is. Social media and Facebook is like scrolling. It's like scrolling physical ADHD. Your attention on so many things, so many ideas, what's on everybody's mind. I would hate to be Professor X, bro. Professor X is the worst power in X-Men history outside of time travel for a brother. Professor X has the worst power at all because Facebook make me learn I don't want to know what's on everybody's mind.
Big facts. Big facts. Big facts. Man, truth, because when I scroll there, man, that's why usually when I get on, man, I post what I post, hop back off, and go back to my real world life, because if I really said it and it kills me because I was just telling my camera crew this, and I'm like, man, it requires me to what I do, promotion. For the podcast, for the video show, and everything else requires me to be on social media. But if it didn't, I probably wouldn't be on that much. You know what I mean?
Well, that and the fact that there's a lot of people that I love and care for, or people that love and care for me. Yeah. That's shown it, whether it be family, friends, wrestlers, whoever. You know what I'm saying? That I want to see what's up and keep in touch. Not that I'm lurking, but I also want that avenue, for them to be able to get a hold of me, even if it's a year down the line or whatever. Time makes no difference for me. Nobody got to hang with me all the time, talk to me all the time. I'll know if they're my real, Ninja Clan in real life, if it picks right back up where it was, no matter how much time it was. So it don't matter to me. But
I feel that.
And it's like, and that comes with that ninja with attitude mentality, bro. It's like I might seem very condescending sometimes on Facebook, or social media, or I might come off very strong, but that's me taking that energy I feel. It's like I feel like John Coffey on that Green Mile, but I can't spit out the bugs. You know, I can feel everything. I just can't. I just can't spit out no bees, bro. I ain't doing all that.
I feel it,
but
man.
that energy's like that, man. The energy's like that. So, just like situations here at home, media attention, good or bad, they say is good attention. Well, that is true and this, that, or whatever, but it also causes everybody's opinions to become their truth. And opinions are just that, man. They're just opinions. How you feel, how I look at things, or whatever. It's just a feeling in a moment of time, and people let that control them, man. And that's how they easily become lost in all the, they get lost in the wormhole, man, scrolling, going through all that shit, bro.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, I agree with that. But what I notice about you, and I'm kind of the same way in this ride, and moving right back, and of course into the wrestling career, because this is what we do here at In Your House. We just talk. We talk about.
Man, we just chopping it up, man. I forgot we was even cutting a wrestling interview. That's what's up.
Hey, that's a good thing, man. That means the conversation's moving in the right direction. But man, you just seem so focused, like. Of course, when you feel the need to speak out against things, or you do it on social media and stuff like that. But man, just the demeanor that I have on who you are as a person, you just seem really focused and like me, I know I've got sometimes I get tunnel vision, man, because I can only see what's in front of me, and it's just that focus, and like that's also kind of what I see from you, like when I was seeing some of your ring entrances, man. Of course, you're the ninja. You just keep that laser, you keep that laser focus. Is that something that focus that you have in real life? Is that something that you apply to your character in the ring as well?
No, I'm actually really shy and hate doing stuff in front of people.
No way.
Yeah, I'm actually unless I'm comfortable with people, I'm kind of reserved, laid back, like you might think I am. But it's like that laser tunnel vision. I can't see nothing when I'm out there. Like I can hear people. I have so many people mad because they think I passed them up, making an entrance. I'm trying to focus to see them when I touch their hand, but something happens, man. I cross that curtain. No, this is no promo. I cross that curtain, and it's not necessarily a character, man. Like, you ever see that movie Wanted, yo?
I haven't seen that, no.
Oh, man, you got to check it out. Morgan Freeman, Angelina Jolie, and I can't think of his name, man, but he plays in so much stuff. Split. He plays in Split. He actually plays Professor X, talking about him and the new X-Men stuff. And so check that out. But anyway, man, something happened in that movie to where when he had a high level of anxiety or stress, his sight kind of would focus in tunnel vision and stuff would kind of slow down. Now, I'm not trying to say that stuff happens in real life like the Matrix, but man, that stuff be happening. I can hear almost everything. But the only thing I can see is where I'm at, what I'm going to touch, my opponent, and the referee sometimes. The only thing I can see in the ring.
It's crazy. It's crazy that you say that, because I actually really relate to that. Just because anytime because I also do hip hop. I toured not last year, but the year before. I toured Central Indiana and parts of Ohio and stuff. And I'm kind of the same way. I don't really like being in a big group, a room with a whole bunch of people that I don't know. I don't really like that. But when I hop on the stage, man, I'm not looking at any particular person. I'm just kind of zoning. You know what I mean? I'm sure you know.
I know what you mean. Yeah. You're in that zone. You're living the craft. You're being everything that you talk. Like I said, I get 20 minutes in that ring, depending on the ring time or whatever, inches and all, to be my ultimate self, to amp everything up and just go, man. Let it all pour out. Just pour out that passion. Not think about anything. Just go for it. And yeah, so I feel you on that aspect. Wrestling gives me an outlet to focus all of my ideas and focus all of my energy physically, mentally, because as long as I'm doing that, just say you see these guys doing these crazy plunges and flips and stuff like that. Yeah, we have a matter of seconds to determine if this is sports science. We have a matter of seconds to determine where we're going to jump from, how fast we need to jump, how far we need to go, and where we need to land. We're one take stunt man, bro, and motherfuckers got the nerve to call us fake. You got me fucked up.
Oh,
like,
I hate that. I hate that. I swear
we got one take to get it right.
Yep.
And not kill ourselves and not get hurt, and then the stuff that you don't think that hurts be the stuff that hurt the most.
That's crazy, man. And I just got to rewind for a quick second because the F word that you used that I don't like to use for pro wrestling, that's a no-no for me. And the reason that I had to bring it back to that is because before I say another word, before I say another sentence, I got to say this. Thank you for all that you do for our entertainment, man. Thank you for putting your body on the line for our entertainment.
Yeah, man. And then on that same token, I'll give that energy right back and shout out to all the guys that taught me how to protect myself in this game, because every bump we take, and this is me taking this from Pop, we call Tracy Smothers Pop. Once again, there's a racial barrier because I don't like the Southern flag, but man, he calls me a son in front of a bunch of white folks, and people are like, why are they hugging right now? Like, well, we're not in the voting line, so chill out.
Crazy.
I'll pop out of the car in a random place, and Tracy's mother's on the show, and he has this, his good old Southern boy shirt on. He's like, "Oh, my son," and comes up running. We hug each other and stuff, and people are like, what's going down?" It's like, man, if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Right. Big facts, man. Man. I love it, man. That's the fact that professional wrestling is so freaking amazing, man, because just the fact that moment can be seen and like so many people are scratching their heads, but like you said, when you know, and to me that's magic, man, and that's just one of the magical things about pro wrestling.
I'm glad you said it like that. It definitely is magic, man. These dudes that come out here, put their bodies on the line, and I'm not saying all of them, because don't get me wrong, there needs to be a lot of weeding out to go. Man, but at the same time, there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
There's something for everybody. I don't care who you are. There's something for everybody in this business.
Yep.
And even if you're not a good wrestler, and most people don't tell themselves they're not a good wrestler or should be doing some other shit, but that's for the vets to handle.
Yeah.
But that's that old school in me to weed that out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, man, that is magic, bro. It's one of those things like how you talk about you're on stage, and like imagine you had this ultimate show, the crowd's popping, you hit everything you were supposed to hit.
Yeah.
You and the DJ's on, you ain't got to say nothing. You kind of look at whoever you're on stage with like, man, this is really happening. That's the stop and smell the roses, man. Like that's the journey. Enjoying the journey is the goal, not the goal, because once you get to the goal, it's over.
Yep.
You got to enjoy the adventure and the ride along the way, man. And so a lot of that magic, man, that's so rare to capture and have everything on point, that's what it's about, bro. It really is magic.
It is, man. I agree with that because here I am, June 28, 2019. I'm 32 years old, and I'm sitting over here.
Man, you
talking.
Keep aging me every time you say that.
I'm not meaning to. I'm just. It's for me. It's crazy. For me, it's crazy, man, because. Just last night, I talked to my grandfather. He's 92 years old. 92.
Man, that's so dope. You got an OG, man. That's so dope. You got an OG, and those are important. Go ahead, though.
Man, and me and him was talking and stuff, and he's just. It's crazy, man, because he's paying attention to what I'm doing with the podcast. He's 92 years old, and he knows what a podcast is. I don't even know how that's possible, but he's telling me just he's like, man, now I want to figure out how I can watch wrestling just because of all the stuff that you're doing, and I'm like, man, that's so cool to me that even him being 92 years old. Now he wants to check out. Now he wants to check out a little bit of wrestling because his grandson is making waves. You know what I mean, in the professional wrestling podcast community, and to me that's just part of the magic, man. That if an OG like that can change his mind, man, I think there's still room to change people's minds about professional wrestling.
Like I said earlier, man, that's the best part of being a human being. We have the capability to change. Yep. But at that same time, bro, as a professional, as long as I've been doing it, bro, keep that. That's one of my ninja scrolls to you, bro. Keep that, man. If you got an OG that you can talk to, you can bridge an age gap and generation. The world that he lives in now, that we run and do all our stuff in, it's totally sometimes unrecognizable to them.
Yeah.
You know, my best friend is my G-Ma, bro. Like, I'm a G-Ma's boy, but I wish somebody would call me a mama's boy or they can get it. But at the same time, it's like people don't know, like, me and my G-Ma go gun shopping. Like, she's 79, about to be 80 years old, you know, fighting cancer. And, like, you know, we talking about, you know, I made her fall in love with Rugers. So,
man, that's dope. That is so dope.
You know, Bass Pro Shop, and go get our bullets, go, you know, check out some stuff, and then take her out to eat and let's roll. Like, I don't talk to her like a grandmother. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
but,
no, I feel what you mean. I feel what you mean.
But it's like, you know, that's my partner. That's my, you know, that's my also a friend. Like, we bridge that gap. But that I feel like that also that's also what's missing in the business, though, man. Like, to me, and I would never want the headache, because heavy is the head that wears the crown. I would never want to be a promoter or run a show. But if I did or had a say-so in it, I believe that every wrestling promotion, and if anybody hears this that's in the business, trust me, man, like, I will not bullshit you. If you're trying to start a company, you don't want to be called, what do they call them now, Money Marks, or, you know, Mark Promotions, this or whatever, man. Just get all that. You know, everybody's marks in this game, because if we wouldn't be fans of it, we wouldn't be doing it. However, it is imperative that you find some type of real vet and OG. I don't mean some guy that's been in the same area, same company forever and call himself a vet. I mean somebody that's been there, done that, had the torches passed to them the right way, and that's doing it the right way. Get an OG on your show, man. Even if he is not wrestling, get him back there in that locker room. Get him cussing some guys out. Get him making some guys, you know, breaking some guys down and building them back up, man. That is lost. We are in a business to where everybody wants to be fluffed and told they're doing good and this or whatever. Yeah. You got me fucked up, bro. I would go bull paint on the locker room if I had to. And that's only because I was trained by guys like him and guided by guys like him and Tracy Smothers and Tarek the Great and, you know, and hell, the old school IWA locker room, man, the originals, man. I was their young boy. So I'm an amalgam and a Frankenstein of all those dudes put together, for real, if you really want to look at it and put my ninja on it. But, yes, I mean that. You know, I implore and encourage every promotion to find an OG or a real veteran that comes through their area. And not necessarily, pick their brains, you know, blah, 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 because I see a lot of guys going to pick some brains, ask some stupid-ass shit.
Yeah.
No, don't sit there and waste these out. Don't waste their time, man. It's so fleeting. Have them there to give you the bullshit. Don't ask for what you're doing good. You know when you're doing good, because it'd be like that magic we were just talking about. You'll just feel it. You'll know when you know. Yeah. Other than that, man, just prepare yourself to be broken down by somebody that can tell you something they didn't do or something they could have done, but if you feel like it, can level you up a little bit, just like your OG does you. You know what I'm saying? So that's my stick on that, bro.
I appreciate that, man, and I will take that ninja scroll and I will tuck it away for later use, respectfully, because don't
do it too long, man. Sometimes you gotta blaze them scrolls, man. You gotta roll them scrolls and blaze it sometimes. But I tell you, it's Friday, man. It's Friday. I'm gonna get you high today.
Hey, let's do it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know I'm down. But man, I feel that, man. And you said something earlier. You said something earlier about how, you know, you don't got to be told if you're doing something right. You know what I mean? You'll just feel it. Like, okay, so I don't know if you're a fan of Futurama at all. Oh, I'm sure, but have you ever seen Futurama?
That's the made by Matt Groening kind of show.
Yep.
I don't watch too much TV. I'm kind of a movie guy and whatever.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you know of it. So there was one episode where there was like the robot Bender, and he was up in space or whatever. All of it's irrelevant. It was like Robot God or something like that. And he said something that always personally stuck with me, and that's this: if you do something right, it'll seem like you never did anything at all.
Yep. It just flows, man. It just happens.
Yep. And that always stuck with
Master
me.
Bruce Lee said, man, just be the water, just flow. Yeah, man.
I agree with that. Thank God for the waters. But absolutely, man. I agree with that, man. And man, it's crazy to hear you say that, because like that's just the type of guidance, like, and I'm not even like, of course we're talking about pro wrestling, and of course I just got to take it bigger again, but I'm talking about that type of guidance that a lot of the youth in a lot of different communities don't have. Is somebody just be like straight up raw, like no cap, like you're fucking up, and let them know when they're fucking up. You know what I mean? And be, just
Yeah,
keep it
man,
real
pro
with them.
wrestling taught me life, man. Pro wrestling taught me life because pro wrestling, if you look at it, is a subculture and it's its own world based on like it's its own matrix, bro. It's like we jack into the matrix, but it's realer than the real world.
Yeah, yeah.
If you really, really look at it from this aspect, man, everything that happens during wrestling or real life, you'll see that mainstream or otherwise in the indies during pro wrestling. It emulates. It's a reflection of real life.
Oh yeah. Yep, I agree with that. It's a reflection of real life. That, I mean, those are just cold facts right there, man. And I wanna leave it with this. Pro wrestling being a reflection of real life. I wanna leave with this last question. Professional wrestling is now once again going through a huge renaissance where they're doing things like art, intimidating life and whatnot. And now we have this huge renaissance of professional wrestling. We got the indies hotter than they've ever been. You're there seeing it yourself. You're there seeing the talent come in and out, and it's crazy. I mean, and another reason is AEW with
battle rap, bro. It's like it's crazy. There's so many people that you can get into and be like, man, this dude is dope. Like you almost forget you're a pro wrestler sometimes.
Yeah. Oh man. And let me ask you this: with all this buzz, all this everything in the air, the buzz in the air of all these promotions, including AEW, New Japan emerging, ROH, and even our local indie feds. Guys, make sure you support your local indie fed. What do you see in the future, late 2019, 2020 and beyond, for the future of professional wrestling?
Well, we already seen somebody in Japan pull out a gun, so I'm just saying. And I've actually accidentally cut a promo because I be packing sometimes. So yeah, I actually cut a promo of my waistband. But now, to go back to your question, man, honestly, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I find more often than not, and I've probably said it on my Facebook a couple times or one of my social media outlets, I'm not even sure sometimes if wrestling fans are wrestling fans, or are people sitting back ready to judge and critique us, or I don't know. But
Thanks.
At the end of the day, if there is a future for pro wrestling, is guys actually able to, I don't want to say easier, but it's no different from us being brothers, man. You know, being a brother in America used to be hard until brothers went through some stuff to kind of open some doors and give us opportunities.
Yeah.
And so on that same light, I think that with the pioneers of today and the pioneers past, like I said, that's why you definitely need to keep OGs on your shows, because you don't know where you're going unless you know where you've been.
Yep, facts.
I think that it's going to be easier for guys to find their way. I think it's going to be easier because, like, it used to be really hard to get in the business from the guys that taught me. They used to talk about how, my trainer was really small, so they used to laugh at him until somebody like Madman Pondo would be like, hey, man, just do all your shit. And then once that happened, it was like, okay, wow, this guy can really go.
Yeah.
And so it seems now more than ever, that even you can see it. Okay, simply put, you can even see it in WWE right now, how they talk about how the people are controlling what gets put on. It's almost like they're in a constant protest. I honestly think it's going to reset itself. If I really had to be total 100%, I have to go back to one of the Ninja Scrolls that I got from, I was meddling in a conversation with Bull Payne and R.I.P. Sherry Martel. Oh yeah, that's forever my WCW, bro. Something about a white girl with dark hair. I don't know what it was. But anyways, you're stupid. Nah, man, but I heard them talking. They were just kind of having their personal conversation. And also back in those times, you had to be in the locker room at least a year and a half, 2 years, or depending on how much respect you got, you couldn't talk. And a lot of people were running and telling war stories like, bro, you might need to chill and humble yourself. But anyways, to go back to your shit, I think it's going to reset itself.
Yeah.
And the real gypsies, the real, not necessarily workers, the real wrestlers, the guys that you see come to the ring and be like, oh man, that guy like he's about to beat somebody's fucking ass, instead of, I don't want to say the Gaga, because like I said, there's something for everybody in this business.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get back to that, man. You know, people confuse what strong style is. People confuse what they think lucha style is. People confuse what they think Japanese strong style is. People confuse what they think wrestling is, period. Wrestling never changes. And to answer your question, it's going to reset itself based on Jerry Lynn's crew. And I'll leave you alone after this.
No, please.
Jerry Lynn was retiring, and at that time, he was one of the only guys that did the Big Four at the time. You know, he had done it all everywhere, WWE, WCW, ECW, what have you.
Yeah.
And I got to ask him before he put on this seminar, you know, how does it feel now that you know, being that you're about to, you know, hang up, not necessarily hanging up, but basically like are you accomplished, you know, you've done everything, one of the only few that's done those major companies. How does it feel retiring now? And he said to me, and I quote, the only thing that sucks is there's still so much that I want to learn.
Wow.
And then it was just like, well, man, like I still say that to this day. I probably say it on road trips all the time. If I'm giving locker room speeches or whatever it is, trying to act like a vet on the show, whatever like that, I always go back to that scroll. That made me fall in love with wrestling again, and it made me take myself a lot less serious as far as the broad spectrum, because you take an individual wrestler out of the fold, he's nothing but a water drop of what ocean the wrestling business is.
Yeah.
And so the fact that a guy like him, who's a class act, by the way, and one of the people that you meet and be like, damn, like, I'm glad I met my hero, instead of like, damn, you know, Michael Jordan was a dick. I didn't even want to get a picture with him after that. You know what I'm saying? And so Jerry Lynn was one of those. So that's the type of energy personally that I try to give him. Reckless Youth. Man, if you don't know who Reckless Youth is, please look him up. Talk about indie guys that kind of changed the game. He changed the game not only on the indie level, but on a, you know, to the mainstream level. He was one of the first guys to even refuse a major contract. You know what I'm saying? He was, I get confused his name because I always want to call him Bryan Danielson. But Daniel Bryan, he was one of the first. Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, whatever.
Yeah.
And bro, he was, and so when I met him, it was like weird. He was like, oh, you know, my name's Tom. He was like, what? Nigga, you are not Tom. You are Reckless Youth. You got me fucked up. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I get it. I got it now.
Yeah.
You know, like, I am who I am, amped up in this ring, but don't take yourself so serious, you know, so serious that you create a disconnect from your peers and the people that's going to give you the energy to be that dude anyway.
Yeah. Let me, okay, I know that said that was the last question, but let me ask you this last question. Just because it's a good vibe. Let me, I want to ask you this, this will be my last question. Just the energy that I'm getting and hearing you talk and some of the things that you say are and correct me if I'm wrong, well, I just have to ask this. Are you influenced by Taz at all?
Taz, as far as the ECW Taz?
Yeah, that guy. Yep, like living the gimmick and everything. Okay. Are you influenced by him at all?
I was influenced by all the ECW originals. Like him and Rob Van Dam was the only one I've not been able to come across yet personally.
Really?
Yep. They're the only ones that I've not been able to come across with personally in real life or in the business. And yes, I would have to say that actually all the ECW originals is why I took so much to heart the Identity Mid-South originals, because it was that same energy and emulation of that heart and that rough outlaw, yet smart and articulate and brotherhood type deal, and, you know, cut to the chase, no bullshit type guys.
Yeah.
You know, I want people to take me serious. I'm not, don't get me wrong, I love New Day, but I'm not coming down there dancing for nobody but Sugar Dunkerton. You got me fucked up.
That's why I just get the like you are who you are and you're your own person, but I get some crazy Taz vibes off you because like you're no nonsense, no bullshit. You know you live your gimmick and like it's like it's not a
he made people believe who he is, man.
Yeah. Exactly, and it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing when I say that.
You need it if you. And I look at people's size and stuff, like he's a really short guy when I see him on film. You know, he's short, he's stocky. He's not the 6'5", he's not the 6'6" Titans and, you know, guys that you would want to see. But, man, his personality, his feel, his vibe, and everything to that expect, yeah, that definitely was an influence because it was like, do you remember those old school cuts to where he was just off in the alley with the towel on his head? And it's just like, man, bro's about to come wreck shit.
Yes, like, he's just like... He was just a straight badass dude. That was what I liked about him, is that, yes, he was shorter than everybody else, but dude walked like he was 10 feet fucking tall. It was amazing.
Absolutely. Now, one of the last I come across, I don't mean to keep holding you up, but since we vibing, man, Tommy Dreamer's that man, too. Yeah. Tommy Dreamer is that man. Like, that was the guy. You talk about those magical moments. Yeah. That was one of those, last year at the Gathering of the Juggalos was one of those moments where it was my indoctrination as a young OG. And, like, throughout the match, I felt the level up throughout the whole thing. Like, I felt like I was just in my body watching myself move with the dude in front of me. I don't know what was going on. But
I love the feeling, the leveling up.
There's those matches you can't explain, bro.
Yeah.
And those guys, when you get those moments with guys like that's been there to the upper echelon, it makes you feel like, well, damn, I can work with anybody.
Yep.
You know, it's almost a reassurance that everybody that's ever wasted time talking and teaching you was worth it. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so that's what that comes into play. And you got to let your influence do you like that, man. You're not doing none of this shit by yourself.
That's facts, man. That is absolute fact. Like, man, this was just a real good conversation, and I knew it was gonna be. I'm not shocked by it. I'm not even halfway shocked that this was a fantastic conversation. And like,
man, I appreciate you enjoying it. I enjoy myself.
Oh man, and of course I'd love to have you on again. But as of right now, hi Zaya, the Hood Ninja. This is your floor, brother, to plug anything that you want to plug, any shows, your social media, any projects that you're working on. Now is your time, brother. Plug away.
Yo, it's your boy Hood Ninja High, rolling ninja scrolls and blowing dro. Check me out. You can get at me on different social media accounts. Hood Ninja High on Twitter, even though I'm not really active on Twitter because, you know, I just do that for business. Yeah. Facebook, I'm on there every day as Hi Zaya, HY space ZAYA. For any contact info, it is highflyzaya@gmail.com. That's HYFLY Zaya, ZAYA @gmail.com. Also, man, check out my boys, BLMF. I'm telling you now, my boy Cadillac Dundee and K7 coming this summer. K7's Revenge, the movie. I'm making my directorial and acting debut. We will be releasing this in a few theaters here in the area, and hopefully, and I believe in this dude so much, can get us a Netflix deal in about a year or so. You know, so yeah, I'm getting my acting chops ready to go. Shout out to anybody and everybody, especially in this wrestling business, man, that's ever put us up, ever put me up. Let me sleep on your floor. Let me sleep on your couch. I'm on the road. Let me be that checkpoint in GTA 5 just to kind of come and save my game, you know, just to make it home, you know. Yeah. Also, next week, or I don't know if it's next week, and I got to check my calendar, but July 4th, I am leaving the country for Mexico for NGX. And I'll probably be the only brother from Miles and in that part of the country. But guess what? I'm going to represent like old Hood Ninja always does. Also, man, I want to give a shout out to the young dudes and the veterans of this business that get it. And if you would, Jeffersonville Arena, man, they got plenty of shows going on. Gosh, man, I can't even tell you. There's so many companies running that business, running that building in the business. But tomorrow night, you have this show. It's with Papa Saint. Yeah, shout out to Jason Saint. You'll be working with him. During, I was about to plug the show afterwards. You'll be working with him during Heroes and Legends, featuring Sting. And, oh, my gosh, like, I'm so excited for the show. I get to meet you in person. So I'll make sure I get you to the shadows to get. Yeah. I'll make sure to pull you to the shadows and get you together like we did with Tuco Scorpio last year. And so I know you want to be put up on that. And so, and also you can check out anybody that's interested in just wrestling this area, been around a long time. And I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm learning some new things with Mr. Al Snow, Ohio Valley Wrestling at the Danny Davis Arena. That is at 4400 Shepherdsville Road, Louisville, Kentucky. We have Wednesday night TV tapings, and they also show Saturday mornings and Saturday afternoons and evenings on Channel 21 here in Louisville, Spectrum 21, WBNA.
That is so awesome, man. That is so awesome. The Hood Ninja High. Bro, thank you so much for blessing my podcast. Bro, I really appreciate the conversation. Thank you so, so much.
Man, thank you for having me on, bro. I'm humble, man. I appreciate the energy, bro. I can't wait to meet you, man.
Absolutely, and I feel the same way. Guys, this was a really great episode with my man, Hood Ninja Zaya. Guys, I'm going to check him out and meet him October 5th, but I got to hit some more shows, so hopefully I see him beforehand. Hey, guys, let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's all right. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, hey, we can get to you. Check us out. October 5th, Heroes and Legends 13, Fort Wayne, Indiana. We are the official podcast of the entire event. And if you can't be there, which we really do want you to be there, hey, you can check it out on Fight TV with your boy Khan on commentary with Jason Saint. Guys, get a freaking shirt. We tell you all the time, www.prowrestlingtees.com/In Your Howse. Guys, we tell you this all the time. Hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone. Because the household, well, we going strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.